All right. So what we're looking at now is some indicators and stuff like that. We'll look at what works, what I think works, and what you should always have on your chart, in my opinion. And then we can talk about some other ones. So you always need volume on your chart, or you need to have it like ready to go. Volume is the most important. One thing to watch out for with volume is that these exchanges just basically fake it sometimes. Just the way it is. Like there shouldn't be volume at all times. Like they're using a volumizer on Binance, which is fine. You know, maybe that's giving more liquidity or something like that. But this whole thing they got going on, it's probably not real. But anyways, you can look at trends still. You can look at, spikes in volume. The spikes are probably real, and the upward rises in volume are probably real. And what you want to be looking at for volume is there's a few things you want to look at for volume. So first of all, you want to be using volume to confirm, uptrends and stuff like that. Like for example, here when this is going up, it's kind of nice if volume is generally trending up too. You know what? Screw Binance's chart. We need something with some like not fake volume. What do we have here? I like Bitstamp, but it's my regular chart. I don't want to delete it. Let's do Coinbase. Coinbase doesn't fake volume, as far as I know. They don't seem to. Let's delete. This is just some old lines I had. All right. So what you want to be looking for is you want to be looking for, price rising or volume to confirm price, essentially. Volume is confirming that there's a lot of exchanging of, in this example, Bitcoins that's occurring as the volume is going up. And so we like that. And then when it starts to go down, volume went down until a kind of a capitulation, kind of precipice here where we had high volume where there was a lot of selling going on, a lot of buying as well in order to make up for that selling. And if there wasn't buying, then the price would have kept going down, right? So that's kind of what you look at basic for volume, but I also like to use volume for other stuff too. People use POC, which I don't even have Tradingview Pro on this account, so I don't really use it that much. I like POC fine, but I like to just like watch, like I kind of do it manually, if that makes sense. Let me show you some stuff here. I'm gonna get into a good place where there's like 15 minutes good. 1 second. Where there's a clear trend line going on of some sort. That's when you want to see like the volume come in, when it hits the trend. So one way you can do is if you're confirming like a trend line, you can whenever the volume touches the trend line, you want to see volume pick up, and that confirms that your trend line's probably pretty accurate. If it's hitting the trend line and then a lot of volume comes in, that means that a lot of people are buying and selling at that level. Which means that your trend line's probably pretty good. That's one way you can use volume, as well as just the general trend stuff I was saying. You also want to have like moving averages, and you just want to, you can use EMAs if you want. I just use SMAs because I think that, the market is mimetic. It's just based on what everyone's doing. And not only what everyone's doing, but what everybody thinks everyone's doing. And whatever the most people are doing is something that might get exploited as well through, liquidity dynamics that we'll go into more in depth later in the series. But long story short, I think that MAs, very simple MAs, are very easy to use and very effective to use. And I think that everybody should have them on their chart. It's just going to be overwhelming having this much. Let's just look at the 20. The 20 daily is that's the bread and butter. Everybody uses the 20 daily MA. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people use it, especially for alts and stuff like that. But anyways, when price breaks above it and stays above the 20 daily, it's usually a pretty good sign that there's a strong trend. All of these MAs are doing, it's a moving average, and they call this the 20 DMA, the 20 daily moving average. And all that it's doing is it's just saying it's taking the last 20 days at any given time, say for example here, it's taking the last 20 days and it's just adding up all of their prices and then dividing by 20. So it's taking the average price over the past 20 days, moving average. I know that seems like something that should be, to some might be common sense, but to newer traders, they might not make that connection. All it is just a trend indicator. Great to have though. And then you get into other stuff too. You can get into like, RSI and, all this stuff, stochastic RSI and all that. I try to stay away from it. Like, what the hell's going on here, man? Like, people use it on the 4 hour and stuff. It's just noise. It's just for the most part, it's noise. Maybe you can combine this with something and then you get the goose, and then the goose, finds the other goose, and those gooses have sex and they lay a golden egg or something. And then pretty soon you're a millionaire in a mansion because you found RSI dips. Maybe. Probably not, though. Let's admit, probably not. That's not really how it works. If it was so good, maybe it'll be good once everybody stops using it. Maybe it was good before everybody used it, but look at GainseyBot. The thing does not do that well. Let's be honest. It's not doing great. It's using these little RSI, meme indicators. You don't really need to be doing that. What you need to be doing is looking at charts and trying to understand cycles. The best indicator is you. You're the best indicator. Well, maybe not yet, but that's what you need to be. You need to be relying on yourself, not relying on indicators or anyone else. You want to use that type of stuff as confluence. Indicators can be good as confluence. If you are already bearish or you're already bullish, and then you see something that's confirmed by an indicator that you already have seen situations like that happen before, then sure, it could be good use of an indicator, and that could be something that you want to add to your repertoire, your tool belt or whatever eventually. But early on, you really don't need indicators. What you want to be doing early on is you want to be trying to develop the sense of it. And early on, one of the best indicators I can tell you to use is my indicator personally. And it's a liquidity indicator. So what it's doing is just where the liquidation points are. I've also got a ribbon you could use. And there's a couple stuff. I made some stuff, back in the day when I cared about indicators more. But I still do like the liquidation levels. So what did I call it? Untapped. Yeah. Here it is. Cool. You can use this. This is a decent indicator. Yep. Free trading. Let's see. I actually opened two of them. Okay. Settings. We don't need all this crap right now. Cool. Wait. Oh, I have to type like a code into it or something like that. Oh yeah, I have it like set up because I was doing like a paid thing. Or, no, is that the case? The code is just out of it. Oh, it's defunct right now. I'll have to put up a new one. I've got it. I've got it. And I'll post it and fix it. But all it's doing is looking at like liquidation points. It's usually pretty decent. I'll repost it and fix it and make sure it has all those liquidity traps doing is just looking at Bitfinex liquidity delta. But anyways, so, you see here, this was a liquidation point. It's just showing where traders will get liquidated on futures exchanges. That's something we'll go more into in other videos. But that's the type of indicators I recommend using. And it's not just because I made it. I made it because I thought it was a type that I should use. But the type of indicators I recommend using are the ones where they're tools for you. They're not telling you buy or sell. They're saying if price gets here, something's happening. And what this does is it's saying, well, there's bounties there. There's a liquidity bounty at this level. If we get the price to this level, then there will be a certain number of forced buy or sell orders. And that's something we'll get more into when we get into the futures versus spot exchanges video. But long story short, liquidation, if you're long and you're liquidated on a futures exchange, that's a sell order. If you're short and you're liquidated on a futures exchange or stopped out, that's a buy order. And so there are these levels where there have been a lot of positions opened. And if price gets to that level, then a lot of orders will come in at once because a lot of traders opened positions that were that particular distance away. So it's something to look into. And there's a lot of really good sites for this now. This was before High Block Capital. I made this like a year ago or something like that. Now we've got High Block Capital and we've got some other sites that are really good at this. And I recommend checking out. I've always liked them. I think that's something that is really good to add. And that's the type of indicators you should be focusing on. You shouldn't be focusing on indicators that are just using price, volume, and time, because you should be able to do that mostly with your own, of your own accord without their help. Besides the basic ones that I was telling you about, looking at volume, looking at, moving averages and looking at stuff like this. But you should be looking at indicators that are giving you something else besides that. So not just RSI, not just MACD, not just all that stuff. You should be looking at indicators that are giving you something that's going to help you determine from a game theory perspective where you think price is going to go. And not only where price is going to go, but what you want to see at those levels. So you need to be finding levels where you trade. And that's what you should be using indicators for, is determining trend and determining levels. So good for trend is MAs. And levels is, you can use trend lines. You can use volume to confirm those trend lines, like I was saying. And then you can also use kind of more advanced tools like this. So that's what you should be doing when it comes to indicators. Really try to stay away from RSI. Try to stay away from MACD. It's just going to cause you a world of pain. It's going to work sometimes. It's going to not work the other time. Like, please, please, please try to look at the 1 minute. Seriously. Like, this is like a meme or something for some people, but it's not for me. Look at the 1 minute and try to figure out what's going on. Okay. we're going to get into this with the, the liquidity videos. We're going to get more into this. You're the best indicator. Okay. And you need to train your brain to understand what to be looking for and to understand, what's happening and why something's happening and what's going to happen when something else happens. And you need to understand what everybody else is doing too. So please stay away from indicators. Look at them if you want or whatever, but like, come on. You need to, at least when you're first starting, just learn your own indicator first.